Welcome to a new episode of the 90s Metal Gamer, where we stay hydrated and play video games. What comes to mind whenever you hear the name Star Fox? Peppy, Slippy, Falco, Fox. Those are just some of the names that are associated with the Star Fox franchise. It goes deeper than that. You got Crystal, you got Bill, you got Andross, Andross's nephews, I forgot their names, Leon, Andrew. I know there are a few more, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. That's not the point though. Chances are, if you are a 90s kid, you have played a Star Fox game sometime in your gaming life. Whether it be the Super Nintendo, on the Nintendo 64, on the GameCube, or even on the Wii U, or perhaps even the 3DS. I consider Star Fox to be a staple in Nintendo's exclusive games. A lot of people may say otherwise, and that is completely fine. As a matter of fact, I'd love to hear what you think of Star Fox in general. Leave a comment and let me know. We haven't seen a new Star Fox game since 21 April 2016. That is when Star Fox Zero was released for the Wii U, and it received a lot of mixed reviews because of how it plays. Back when this channel was a Let's Play channel, I did play Star Fox Zero, and I can say that I liked it, and the gameplay was very unorthodox. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cover Star Fox Zero in a future review. I'll keep you posted. In case you haven't noticed, this video is a casual review of Star Fox Adventures. The Star Fox series started out as a rail shooter, and since then it has evolved, much like all modern games. In order to stay relevant, you must evolve with your audience. And I don't blame Nintendo for going the direction they did with Star Fox Adventures. It is unique in its own right, but it does not go without its flaws. So, over the course of this review video, I'm going to go over the story, the gameplay, the presentation, and then the music. And then we'll wrap it all up with a water score. Cue the channel intro.
And then the Lord said,
I want to see your tiny head.
Before I get into this review video, I want to talk a little bit about the history of Star Fox Adventures and how it came to be. Star Fox Adventures did not essentially start out as a Star Fox game. As a matter of fact, it was a game called Dinosaur Planet, and it was originally going to be on the Nintendo 64. In an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, he noticed that some of the characters in Dinosaur Planet had a striking resemblance to that of the Star Fox characters. So much so that he decided to inject the Star Fox IP into Dinosaur Planet. It was planned for Star Fox Adventures to be a launch title for the Nintendo GameCube in 2001. But unfortunately, Star Fox Adventures did not release until September 2002. Dinosaur Planet began development in 1997, shortly after the release of Diddy Kong Racing. And the name Dinosaur Planet was ultimately scrapped in favor of Star Fox Adventures. For obvious reasons, of course. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I'm quite certain that this is the first and only time that Nintendo decided to go off the beaten path of a rail shooter and go the direction of an action-adventure game with the Star Fox series. Now, don't get me wrong, Star Fox Adventures is a really good game, but in my own opinion, it is not a good Star Fox game. Mostly because what made Star Fox so unique was aerial combat in your R-Wing. And in this time around, you spend less time in the R-Wing and more time on foot. And if you're thinking that it plays very similar to that of the Legend of Zelda series, well, you wouldn't be wrong in doing so. Because I thought the same thing, and I'm quite sure that many other gamers thought the same thing. So you are not alone on this. And just because it went off the beaten path, that doesn't automatically make it a bad game as a whole. Okay, now that I got my rants out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this review. We're going to start with the story. Since this game is over 20 years old, I have no problem spoiling it right here. Surprise, Andross is back, but it goes much deeper than that. So, because I suck at storytelling, I'm going to let the game tell the story for me. Enjoy.
General Scales, Hiko, Kohud, or Taskuki, Eve Dinosaur Planet. Ud Neokraju, Ui Kimo Nekt.
Am Ded Kutsuho Kavorik Oi. Am Edko Kutsuho Rosvejo Evu Tashkov Zuk.
Utashkov Zuk? Kiash Niko Kuduk, Ash Atashkov.
Keo Cloudrunner Kekt Moyorik Oi. Keo Olak General.
Moak. Aumdekulak. Ahiko Ilokio, Mudu Tadijwi Kiaro. Kiok. Ash Neo Amit Hiko Kutsash Kudok Nakivu. Ikianojo. Kio Vik Oknuj Kokeva Wika Wok Mo. Ue Tuoki Sekodwo Mo. Kia Chaj Dekelu. Edo Su Tavuk. General Scales. Yeah!
Rodzezb General. Moro Dokemo.
Kia Chaj Dekelu.
Pożvat Keo Jezo Ev Keo Tashkov Zheduk. Anito Avgiash Ash Neo Keo Tashkuf Shoduk Ash Semat Vem.
Kia Gach Kio Krazoa Palace. Avue, we are Jato. Rolo Suvik. Kia Kakio. Tajwij Mek Joshut Kuso.
As you can clearly see, you are not playing as Fox McCloud. You are playing as Crystal in the very beginning of the game. Both Crystal and Fox's story are intertwined with each other, so you need to understand where they are both coming from. I'm going to cut to the end of the Krazoa Palace scene so you can see how Crystal and Fox are linked together.
Rob, moment!
Affirmative. I'll get back to work.
Hey, Fox! Isn't this music getting on your nerves? I'm trying to work on my maps.
Okay, old timer. Turn it down, Slippy. Slippy, it's General Pepper.
General Pepper here! I have a new mission for you, Fox. You are approaching Dinosaur Planet, an ancient world on the edge of the Lilat system. As you will see, chunks of the planet have been torn from its surface. It's your job to get them back. If Dinosaur Planet explodes, it could affect the entire Lilat system. The only lead we have is that you must locate the Queen of the Earthwalker dinosaur tribe. Maybe she can help you further. Either way, your fee has been approved. If you are successful, then the money will be forwarded to you immediately. Pepper out!
You heard the General. Let's do it.
I usually try to refrain from using long cutscenes in my videos, but I feel like I needed to use this in order to get the point across. In any case, there is your story. Dinosaur Planet is starting to fall apart, and it's up to you to piece it back together. And throughout your entire journey, Fox McCloud is just annoyed. In order to put the planet back together, you need to collect 6 Krazoa spirits and 4 spellstones, and they are scattered throughout the entire world. As soon as all the Krazoa spirits and all the spellstones are in the rightful place, you go back to Krazoa Palace and you release Crystal. And guess what? Andross returns. For most of the time that I was playing this game, I did not feel like I was playing a proper Star Fox game, mostly because it deviates from its origins as a rail shooter, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I was not expecting to see. The best way that I can describe the Star Fox adventure story in just a few words, I would have to say uniquely adventurous. The icing on the cake of all this is that Andross looks pretty damn cool. If you know how I like to do things on this channel, then you know that I like to maintain 100% transparency. The difference between Star Fox Adventures and The Legend of Zelda was literally just the characters. Instead of playing as Link, you are playing as Fox McCloud. That's it. You are just playing a repurposed Zelda game. Crystal is just an alternate universe version of Princess Zelda. And the same thing can be said about Andross. He is just an alternate universe version of Ganondorf. I love the Legend of Zelda series just as much as the next video game nerd. So, when I play a Star Fox game, I'm not expecting to play a game that plays similar to The Legend of Zelda. I'm expecting to play a rail shooter game, or something that's got a high energy and fast-paced storytelling to go along with it. Like I mentioned in the very beginning of this video, the video game itself as a whole was really, really good. But as far as the Star Fox series is concerned, it was not a good Star Fox game. Throughout the entirety of the game, you will solve some puzzles, go through dungeons, and even defeat massive bosses in order to get all 6 Krazoa spirits and all 4 spellstones. And I did encounter a lot of difficulty. Not with the gameplay, but with figuring out these puzzles. They stumped me massively. So in order for me to complete some of these puzzles, I called upon the assistance of the internet. More specifically, Google. Google never lies. The parts that I enjoyed the most in this entire game were the R-Wing segments. It really took me back to the N64 days. And it was more of a rush of nostalgia than anything else. Unfortunately, the R-Wing missions were very few and far between and acted as a segue to your next objective. And they did not last very long at all, no more than 5 minutes apiece. Rest assured, the short time that I spent on these R-Wing missions, I enjoyed every last second of it. They were very, very fun. While you're on the ground, your staff will be your main weapon. It is your go-to for literally everything. It has ice, it has fire, it can cause small earthquakes, It can even disguise you as the Sharp Claw. It is your multi-tool for everything in this game. My biggest dislike about the game was that it required me to revisit a lot of places that I've already completed. It was kinda like beating a dead horse. Since this game is of course on the GameCube, I obviously used the GameCube controller. And objectively speaking, the GameCube controller is the greatest controller of all time. Since I love the GameCube controller so much, I did not have any trouble adjusting to the controls. They're very easy to learn and easy to master. The downside is that there was a very small delay between my button presses, but I am more inclined to believe it's because my GameCube controller is dying a slow, painful death. But that is okay, cause I have plenty of controllers that I have refurbished myself and some that are brand new. Third party, of course. Overall, I have to say the gameplay was a pretty solid experience. Nothing too memorable. The only saving grace, for me at least, were the Arwing missions. Star Fox Adventures released in September of 2002. Doing quick maths, it is reaching its 21st anniversary. I'll drink to that. Considering this, it is still an absolutely beautiful game. I cannot believe how much work Nintendo and Rare put into this game. They did a phenomenal job. The best way that I can describe it is, imagine if The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time got a facelift. Now the other side to that is that there are spots in the game where it doesn't look as pretty as its surroundings. And I think the scene on screen shows exactly what I'm talking about. I slowed the footage down so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I know I'm being extremely nitpicky about this, and I am well aware of that. And the reason why I'm being so critical about it is that this game is trying to be something that it's not. And what I mean by that is Star Fox is not supposed to be an action-adventure game. It's supposed to be an aerial combat game. Completely subjective, but that is just my opinion. For the music segment of this video, I'm going to use the same scene from the presentation segment. I believe it has the best music. Enjoy.
Let's play!
A while back, I did a review video over Star Fox 64, and I mentioned something about having orchestra music in there. And Star Fox Adventures is no different. The orchestra music fits perfectly in Star Fox Adventures.
Fly through 7 gold rings to open the Gatekeeper's force field.
If you have played Star Fox 64, then you would know that the Star Fox Adventure Arwing missions pay tribute to Star Fox 64, and it shows. Each section of the planet has its own theme music associated with it, and if you ask me, Nintendo and Rare got it right. Overall, the music was very fun, very energetic, very relaxing, very mysterious, in all the right places. Good job, Nintendo. I have to be quite honest with you guys. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this game. I really don't know where to put it or how to score it. Mostly because it is not a proper Star Fox game. And when I say not a proper Star Fox game, I mean it's not what made Star Fox unique. Although I will say it is unique in an unconventional sense. As a Star Fox game, I have to admit that it is not a very good one, at least in my humble opinion. But as a game as a whole, it is absolutely amazing. So this is the reason why I'm having so much trouble giving it a proper score. Editor's note here. This just shows how much trouble I'm having giving it a good score. So after about an hour of thinking it over what I should do about the score, I'm going to give it a score based on the game as a whole instead of just the Star Fox series. Considering all this and how much difficulty I've had trying to give this game a score, I will give it a water score of 4 out of 5 bottles of water. One thing I wanted to mention before I close out this video is that Falco makes a triumphant last-minute return to aid Star Fox in beating Andross, and I thought that was absolutely dope. Thanks for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, and I really do mean that. I am a small YouTuber, so every little bit of support that I get will go a long way. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I love y'all, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for my next video.